Just, I guess we're looking forward to having a chance to get back on the field after a disappointing loss and playing the same opponent. You get a second chance, so we're looking forward to the postseason. We know that these are games we've talked about as a team. These are games you have to win or you go home, and it gets you ready for NCAA play. So we've got to be prepared, and we don't have that chance to get it back after this. So this is a good opportunity for us to get ready for postseason after the SEC tournament, but to play a great team in A&M and fix some things that we didn't do yesterday.
Michaela mentioned the word frustrated. What's the mood like with the team this morning, and how has everyone regrouped and responded?
Well, we haven't seen the team yet, so and I'm not sure. I don't have a great pulse on what they're feeling, but I do know our messaging has been to be excited, that we're still in a great position. You're going to play top teams no matter who you play against when you go to the Orange Beach SEC tournament. So we've got to be prepared, whoever it is, and you got to be prepared to play and move on. And you know, again, it's another start for a season. It's the second season for us. So there are teams at home that aren't playing anymore. There's teams even in our conference that aren't playing. So that's what we have to be excited about, is that we have another chance and to get back out there. And so our message is positive and something that hopefully this team will grasp. And I know the players in the locker room that were disappointed last night will definitely get a grip and be ready to go.
You mentioned the message. Is it all positive looking forward, or will you talk about kind of the struggles of the last the last week or so?
Well, I think you always address. You can't forget what didn't go well. I think that the biggest thing is mentally that you go in and prepared, and you have a positive outlook, because there's not a lot that can change. I think we've been playing quite well. The ball's got to go in the back of the net and not worry that it hasn't. But we've put ourselves in good positions to win games, and we got to build on that and just make sure we take care of not giving up anything at the end of a game, and also putting ourselves on the front foot by actually finishing the chances when we do have so many opportunities, especially early on in games.
You mentioned, I think, last night, and I know you're not so big on numbers and statistics and all that, but I think this was the first time you've lost 2 games in a row since 2015. What does that say about the success of the program? And is it not a weird feeling, but unsettling having 2 losses heading into postseason play? I guess it's kind of different.
Yeah, I guess it is different. You know, I think I've done this long enough that it doesn't really register that way. I think we've always had to bounce back from things. Even last year, before we went on to the run we had to the Final Four, we had to come off a very disappointing loss at the SEC tournament in the first round against Arkansas, which #1 seed, you don't go in there expecting to lose. So, you know, we have had disappointments. We have bumps along the road, and you know, even our tie last year to Georgia going into Florida put us in a position where we could have lost SECs instead of winning it outright at home. So there's times that this team, part of this team, has experienced some things that have set them back, and they've moved forward well. You know, just like going into this season, we talked about this is a young group. It's a little bit more difficult when you have that young group that doesn't have some of those experiences, but we'll rely a lot on our juniors and one senior to kind of give that message as we move forward.
You mentioned finishing in the final third. Is that just the missing piece right now? Is there more that you see?
That's a big one.
Yeah.
That's a big thing. You got to the ball in the net to win games, and we have put ourselves in that position over and over. The last 2 games we've lost. We have probably had a majority of the possession and the chances. We've outplayed teams, haven't been able to put the ball away. Even against the team that won the SEC in Vanderbilt, we had 3 posts in the first half, didn't put them away, ended up tying that game. So it's something that's been a frustration in the matches that we haven't had success, and that's something we have to be better at. And if it doesn't, then we're not going to win games. That's the fact. So that's something that we're working on, and hopefully will change now as they hit the postseason.
Michaela's shutouts, Zulo finally getting on the score sheet. It seems like he played a lot of younger players last night. What is this team doing positively? What positive things can you tell them heading into this stretch?
Well, you know, I think they're battling, you know, a time right now where the ball's not going in. So I think they've done well to stick with it and not hang their heads. They've battled. They've outplayed teams, like I said. They've also dealt with adversity with players being injured. We've had not just the one like Jackie who's out But there are players on the field that are really battling through some things that are giving that their all, and it's very inspiring to the players, to others that aren't quite as injured. So credit to them. They want to do well, they want to win, and we just aren't maybe 100%, but we're going to battle and hope to put the ball in the net.
What are positives and negatives about playing a team that you just played in 4 days?
I don't. The positives is that we can have a second chance at them, since we didn't get the job done here at home, and this means that you want to continue to go and stay in the tournament. So that's something that we need to look at. The negatives is that you're playing the same team and you kind of know each other, but it's what you're going to have to deal with when you hit the SEC tournament. We've pretty much played everyone that looks like we may face. So we have to be ready for that.
I know you went down a couple seeds in the SEC, but now you're on the same side as Tennessee, who you've beaten. You don't have to play Vanderbilt maybe, until the championship game. Do you look at that at all?
No, yes, but my biggest concern is the first game. We don't really look beyond until we actually can get there, and so our main focus is just get back out there and play a good A&M team, and we're both on the road. It should be a good match, just like it was here, and I think both teams have had ups and downs at different times this year, so it's who can put the best foot forward when we get down to Orange Beach, and that's where, like I talked about, we need to be ready mentally and in a positive mindset, because we have the capability to beat most teams in this country.
What's the plan now going down Orange Beach? And is it the same hotel as last night? Maybe that's a question for Trenton, but do you want to do things different than last year?
We've been the same for a long time. I think it's more, make sure you're in a good place, comfortable place, convenient. Where we stay is great, and players are always excited, and our job is just to be ready to play in the field, and so wherever our accommodations are, if that puts us in a good situation, which I think this place that we stay in does, that's where we'll be.